In the next 60 seconds, you will understand why a single unanswered call can destroy a family. And when you hear what was hidden behind call number 156, 156 missed calls, 3 years of silence, when the son finally returned, his mother's chair was empty. The phone sat on the kitchen table, right where she always kept it, fully charged, volume up, no missed calls. Margaret Ellis died on a Sunday at 5:47 p.m., 13 minutes before her weekly call to her son, a call he had never answered, not once in 3 years. Her grandson found her the next morning, sitting in her chair by the window, facing the mountains. The phone was still in her hand. She had been waiting. Before we go deeper into Margaret's story, I want to ask you something. Where are you watching from right now? What time is it where you are? Drop a comment below. I'd love to know how far this story travels. And please stay until the end. What Ethan found in that farmhouse changed everything. Ethan Ellis hadn't seen his grandmother in 4 years. He stood at the end of the dirt road, looking up at the farmhouse, white paint peeling, the porch swing his grandfather built still hanging, barely, mountains rising behind it like a wall between this place and the rest of the world. He was 19 now. The last time he'd been here, he was 15, and his mother had made a scene about the dirt and the smell and the 3 hours wasted driving to nowhere. They never came back. But Grandma Maggie called every Sunday, 6 p.m. sharp. His father never answered. Ethan had asked once, maybe twice, "Why don't you talk to Grandma?" he would say. His father's face would tighten. His mother would change the subject. Eventually, Ethan stopped asking. But last night, a lawyer named Graham Pierce had called his cell phone directly. "Your grandmother passed away yesterday evening. You're named in her will. Can you come to Tennessee?" Ethan didn't tell his parents. He just drove. The front door was unlocked. The kitchen smelled like lemon cleaner and something else, lavender maybe. A candle on the counter burned down to nothing. And there, on the kitchen table, a phone. Ethan picked it up. The screen was cracked in one corner. He pressed the power button. The screen showed the last outgoing call, Sunday, 5:46 p.m. The contact name read, "Daniel, my son." Call duration, 0 seconds. He scrolled up. Sunday, 5:46 p.m. Daniel, my son, 0 seconds. Sunday, 5:46 p.m. Daniel, my son, 0 seconds. 3 attempts in 1 minute, then nothing. He kept scrolling. The week before, Sunday, 6 p.m. Daniel, my son, 0 seconds. The week before that, Sunday, 6 p.m. Daniel, my son, 0 seconds. Page after page, year after year, 156 calls, every single Sunday, not one answered. Ethan sat down slowly. His hands were shaking. Then, a knock at the door. Graham Pierce was a tall man in his 60s, gray suit, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He carried a leather briefcase and spoke softly, like someone used to delivering difficult news. "You must be Ethan," he said. "How did you know I'd come?" Ethan asked. "Your grandmother said you would," Graham caused. "She said you were the only one who might." They sat at the kitchen table. Graham opened his briefcase and pulled out a manila folder. "Margaret updated her will 8 months ago," he explained, "right after her diagnosis." "Diagnosis?" Ethan repeated, confused. Graham looked at him for a long moment. "She didn't tell you," he said quietly. "Tell me what?" "Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. She had 8 months, maybe 10. He cleared his throat. She made it to 7. Ethan felt the air leave the room. "My father," he started. "Was informed," Graham said, "by certified letter 8 months ago." "And he didn't?" "No." Silence. The phone sat between them on the table, still showing the call log. 156 Sundays, 156 zeros. Graham reached into the folder and pulled out an envelope. "She left this for you," he said. "Asked me to give it to you in person. Only you." The envelope was worn at the edges, like it had been held many times. On the front, in shaky handwriting, it read, "For Ethan, when you're ready." Margaret remembered the day Daniel was born, 42 years ago. She had held him against her chest, still bloody from delivery, and made a promise. "I will always be here," she had whispered to him. "No matter what, I will always answer when you call." She kept that promise for 39 years. He didn't keep it for 1. 8 months before her death, Margaret sat in a doctor's office in Knoxville. The room smelled like antiseptic and bad news. Dr. Sarah Chen was young, too young, Margaret thought, to be delivering death sentences. But her voice was steady, and her eyes didn't look away. "The tumor is inoperable," the doctor said. "With treatment, we might extend—" "How long without?" Margaret interrupted. Dr. Chen paused. 6 to 8 months, maybe less. Margaret nodded slowly. She had been a nurse for 41 years. She knew what pancreatic cancer meant. She had held the hands of patients who heard the same words. Now she was the patient. "Is there someone I can call for you?" the doctor asked. "Family?" Margaret looked at her phone. Sunday was still 3 days away. "No," she said. "There's no one to call." Back in the present, Ethan opened the envelope and began reading the first page of Margaret's letter. "Dear Ethan," she had written, "if you're reading this, I didn't make it to another Sunday. I'm sorry. I wanted to hold on until I could see you one more time, but bodies don't listen to hearts." He continued reading. "There are things you need to know, things your father will never tell you, things your mother made sure you'd never hear. I'm going to tell you everything, not to hurt them, not for revenge, just so someone knows, just so you understand." The letter went on. It started 8 years ago. It started at Daniel's wedding. Margaret remembered it clearly. Vanessa's family sat on one side, wealthy, connected. Her father owned 3 car dealerships in Nashville. Her mother wore a dress that cost more than Margaret's monthly pension. Margaret sat on the other side, alone. Robert had been dead for 2 years by then. After the ceremony, she tried to hug her new daughter-in-law. Vanessa stiffened, pulled back, looked at Margaret's hands, nurse's hands rough from decades of work, and made that thin smile she would use for the next 8 years. "What a rustic woman you are, Margaret," Vanessa had said. Daniel laughed. He thought it was a compliment. Margaret knew it wasn't. Ethan turned the page and kept reading. "The visits started getting shorter," Margaret had written. "First, they came for holidays, then just Thanksgiving, then just phone calls on Thanksgiving, then nothing at all." She continued. "Every time there was an excuse. Vanessa has a work event. The drive is too long. Ethan has soccer. Maybe next month." But next month never came. It explained more. "I called Daniel every Sunday, 6 p.m. He used to answer, quick conversations, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. 'Everything's fine, Mom. Gotta go. Love you.' Then he stopped answering at all." Margaret had written about trying Vanessa's phone. "I thought maybe something was wrong, so I called Vanessa. She picked up. The conversation was short. "Vanessa, what do you want?" Margaret had said. "I just wanted to check on Daniel. He hasn't answered my calls." There was a pause. Then Vanessa laughed, a small, cold laugh. "He's fine," Vanessa had told her. "He's just busy. He has a real family now. You should probably stop calling so much. It's a lot." She hung up. Margaret wrote, "I kept calling anyway, every Sunday, 6 p.m. He never answered again." 6 months before Margaret's death, her neighbor, Helen Murphy, came by on a Tuesday with a casserole and a worried look. Helen had been Margaret's neighbor for 32 years. "Maggie, you've lost weight," Helen said. "Just the heat," Margaret replied. "Haven't been hungry." Helen sat down without being invited. She was like that, the kind of woman who walked into your kitchen and told you the truth, whether you wanted it or not. "I saw the medical bills in your trash," Helen said. "You went through my trash?" Margaret asked. "The wind blew them into my yard." Helen's eyes were steady. "Maggie, are you sick?" Silence. "Does Daniel know?" Helen asked. "I sent a letter," Margaret said. "And?" Margaret looked at the phone on the table. "Nothing," she said quietly. Helen's face hardened. "That boy, I watched him grow up. I watched you sacrifice everything, your career, your savings, your health, to raise him right, and this is how he repays you?" "He's busy," Margaret said. "He's not busy, Maggie," Helen replied firmly. "He's gone, and you need to stop making excuses for him." Margaret said nothing. Helen reached across the table and took her hand. "You deserve better than this," Helen said. "You always did." After the diagnosis, Margaret had done the math. She had $143,000 in savings. The house was paid off, worth maybe $180,000, though who would buy a farmhouse in the mountains? Robert's pension gave her $1,400 a month. She could fight chemotherapy, radiation, maybe buy another year, or she could let go. She chose to write letters instead. One for Daniel, one for Ethan, one for her lawyer. Daniel's letter was short. She wrote, "Daniel, I have pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The doctors say 6 to 8 months. I'm not asking you to come. I'm not asking you to call. I just wanted you to know. I love you. I always have. I always will. Mom." She sent it certified mail, signature required. Graham Pierce confirmed it. Daniel signed for it on March 14th at 2:47 p.m. He never called. He never wrote. He never came. Ethan put down the letter. "He knew," he said. "Yes," Graham replied. "For 8 months he knew she was dying." "Yes." "And he didn't?" "No." Ethan looked at the phone on the table. 156 calls, all ignored. "Why?" he asked. Graham shook his head slowly. "I asked her the same thing," the lawyer said. She said it wasn't about him, it was about her. She said she couldn't stop being her mother just because he'd stopped being her son." Every Sunday, Margaret went through the same ritual. At 5:30 p.m. she would make tea, Earl Grey, 1 sugar, the way Robert used to make it. At 5:45, she would sit in her chair by the window facing the mountains. At 5:59, she would pick up the phone. At 6 p.m. exactly, she would call Daniel. It would ring 4 times, then voicemail. "You've reached Daniel Ellis. Leave a message," the recording would say. She never left a message, not once. What would she say? "Call me?" He knew to call. "I miss you." He didn't care. "I'm dying." He already knew. So she just called, let it ring, hung up. Every Sunday, without fail. Sometimes Helen would be there, watching. "Why do you do this to yourself?" Helen would ask. "Because it's Sunday," Margaret would say. "That's not an answer. It's the only answer I have." Margaret remembered Ethan at 5 years old, running through this same kitchen, laughing. "Grandma, Grandma, look what I found!" he had shouted. He held up a cicada shell, still perfect, clinging to a leaf. "Can I keep it?" he asked. "Of course you can," she told him. He put it in his pocket like treasure, carried it all the way back to Nashville. She wondered if he still had it. Probably not. Children forget. But she didn't. 3 months before her death, the phone rang. Not on Sunday, on a Wednesday, 8:47 p.m. Margaret almost didn't answer, but the caller ID said a name she hadn't seen in years. Ethan, grandson. Her hands trembled. "Hello?" she answered. "Grandma?" His voice was deeper now. He was 18, almost a man. "Ethan, oh, Ethan," she said, her voice cracking. I found your number in Dad's old phone," he explained. "I wasn't supposed to call. Mom said—" "I don't care what your mother said," Margaret interrupted. "How are you? Tell me everything." He talked for 47 minutes about high school, about wanting to study environmental science, about feeling lost, about not understanding why his family never talked about her. "Dad says you're difficult," Ethan said hesitantly, "that you made things hard when he was growing up." "Is that what he says?" Margaret asked quietly. "Yeah." Margaret closed her eyes. "Your father grew up in this house," she told him. "I worked double shifts for 15 years so he could go to college without loans. When he wanted to marry your mother, I gave him the $40,000 I'd saved for my retirement. When he needed a down payment for your house, I gave him another $55,000. She paused. "Do you know what I asked for in return?" "What?" Ethan asked. "Nothing. I asked for nothing." Silence on the line. "I just wanted him to call sometimes," she said. "That's all." "Grandma," Ethan's voice was soft. "I'm not telling you this to turn you against him," Margaret said. "He's your father. You should love him. But someone should know the truth. Someone should know what actually happened." "I want to see you," Ethan said suddenly. "Your parents won't allow it. I'm 18. They can't stop me." "Ethan." "I'm coming," he said firmly. "This summer, I promise." Margaret looked at the phone, at the calendar on the wall, at the mountains outside. 3 months, she thought. "I just need 3 more months." "I'll be here," she told him. "I'll wait for you." 2 months before her death, Pastor Michael drove up from the church in town. He came every other Thursday. He was 73 himself, retired from a church in Memphis, now leading a small congregation in the valley. He had known Margaret for 20 years. "You're getting thinner," he observed. "You're getting grayer," she replied. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Margaret," he said gently, "have you considered reaching out one more time?" "I've reached out 156 times," she said. "I mean in person," he clarified. "I could drive you to Nashville. Just show up." Margaret shook her head. "If I show up, they'll call the police," she said. She's told Daniel things, that I'm unstable, that I harass them." "That's absurd," the pastor said. "It doesn't matter if it's true. It matters that he believes it." Pastor Michael leaned forward. "What about forgiveness, Margaret?" he asked. "What about peace?" She looked at him. Her eyes were clear. "I forgave him a long time ago, Michael," she said. "Every Sunday when I pick up that phone, I forgive him again. That's not the problem." "Then what is?" "The problem is he's never asked for it." 1 month before her death, Graham Pierce sat in the same chair Ethan would sit in months later. "You're sure about this?" the lawyer asked. "I'm sure," Margaret said. "The house, the savings, everything?" "Everything goes to Ethan, in a trust. He can't touch it until he's 21, and Daniel can't touch it ever." Graham wrote carefully. "And if Ethan doesn't come, if he never finds out?" "Then donate it," Margaret said, "to the hospice in Knoxville. They helped me more than my own family." "There's the matter of the letter," Graham said. Margaret handed him 2 envelopes. both worn at the edges. "This one is for Ethan," she said. "Give it to him when he comes. Only him." "And this one?" Graham asked, holding the second envelope. "This one is for Daniel, but only give it to him after." "After what?" Margaret looked out the window. The mountains were fading into evening light. "After he knows what he lost," she said. The final week began on Monday. Margaret couldn't get out of bed. The pain had moved into her spine. Helen came by with soup that Margaret couldn't eat. "Should I call someone?" Helen asked. "There is no one to call," Margaret replied. Tuesday came. She managed to sit in her chair. The phone was on the table, fully charged, volume up. She had 6 days until Sunday. Wednesday. Dr. Chen called from Knoxville. "How are you managing the pain?" the doctor asked. "I'm not," Margaret admitted. "We could admit you, make you comfortable." "I'm comfortable here." "Mrs. Ellis." "I need to be here on Sunday," Margaret said firmly. "That's all, just until Sunday." A pause. "Is someone coming?" Dr. Chen asked. "Maybe." Thursday arrived. Pastor Michael came by. He read from Psalms. She didn't hear the words. She was watching the phone. Friday. Helen found her on the floor. She had tried to reach the bathroom and couldn't make it. "Maggie, please," Helen begged. "Let me call an ambulance." "No. You need help. I need to be here on Sunday." Helen stayed the night. She slept on the couch. She didn't argue anymore. Saturday. Margaret asked Helen to help her to the chair by the window. "Can you hand me the phone?" she asked. Helen put it in her hands. "It's not Sunday yet," Helen said. "I know." Margaret held the phone against her chest. "I just want to hold it." Saturday night. Helen sat by the bed. Margaret was drifting in and out. "He called, you know," Margaret said weakly. Helen leaned closer. "Who called?" "Ethan, 3 months ago. He said he'd come, this summer." "That's good, Maggie," Helen said. "That's wonderful." "Summer's not until June." Her voice was fading. "I don't think I'll make it to June." "Don't talk like that." "Helen," Margaret's hand found hers. "I need you to do something. Anything. When I'm gone, call Graham. He knows what to do. He'll find Ethan." "I will," Helen promised. "And Helen," "Yes?" "Don't call Daniel." "Why not?" Margaret's eyes opened, clear, sharp. "Because he had 3 years to call me. He had 8 months of warning. He signed for that letter. He knew I was dying, and he never came." Her voice was steady. "I don't want him at my funeral. I don't want him in this house. I don't want him to know I'm gone until it's too late to do anything about it." Helen's eyes filled with tears. "That's cruel, Maggie," she whispered. "No," Margaret replied. "Cruel is what he did. This is just consequences." Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Helen made tea, Earl Grey, 1 sugar. Margaret sat in her chair. The mountains were golden in the late afternoon light. "Help me with the phone," she said. Helen handed it to her, watched her unlock it with shaking fingers. 5:45 p.m. Helen looked at the screen, at the call log, at 3 years of silence. "Maybe today," she whispered. 5:59 p.m. She opened the contacts, found his name, Daniel, my son. Her thumb hovered over the call button. 5:59 p.m. "It's almost time," she said. 6 p.m. She pressed call. It rang. Once. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. Then voicemail. "You've reached Daniel Ellis. Leave a message." She hung up. Called again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. 6:01 p.m. She lowered the phone. Her hands stopped shaking. Her breathing slowed. "He didn't answer," she said. "No, Maggie," Helen replied. "He didn't." Margaret looked at the mountains. The sun was setting behind them, painting the sky orange and purple and gold. "It's beautiful," she said. "It is. Robert loved this time of day. I know." Margaret closed her eyes. 5:47 p.m. Helen didn't notice at first. The breathing had been so shallow. It was only when the phone slipped from Margaret's hands that she understood. She checked for a pulse. There was none. Helen sat down on the floor next to the chair. She didn't cry. She just sat there, holding Margaret's hand, watching the sunset paint the mountains. "You waited long enough," she whispered. "You can rest now." The next morning, Graham finished reading the will to Ethan. The house, the land, the savings, $143,000 minus medical expenses, roughly $97,000 remaining, all held in trust until your 21st birthday. Ethan stared at the papers. "Why me?" he asked. "She answered that in her letter," Graham said. Ethan looked down at the pages still in his hand. He hadn't finished reading. Margaret had written, "I'm giving you everything because you called. One phone call, Ethan, 47 minutes on a Wednesday night. That was more than your father gave me in 3 years." The letter continued, "I'm giving you this because I want you to have choices. Go to college, see the world, build a life." She had added, "Don't let anyone tell you that family is about blood. Family is about showing up. Family is about answering the phone. You called. You showed up. That makes you more family than anyone else I have." The car came up the dirt road too fast. Ethan was on the porch when he saw it, a black SUV, expensive, Nashville plates. His father got out first. Daniel Ellis looked older than Ethan remembered, grayer, thinner. His face was pale. Vanessa stayed in the car, arms crossed. "What are you doing here?" Daniel asked. "Grandma died," Ethan said. Daniel stopped. Something crossed his face. Not grief, not exactly. Something closer to shock. "When?" he asked. "Yesterday, 5:47 p.m. Daniel looked at his watch, then at the house, then at his son. "I didn't know," he said. "You knew for 8 months," Ethan replied. "That's not," Daniel's voice cracked. "I was going to come. I was planning to." "When?" Ethan interrupted. "When were you planning to come?" Silence. "You signed for the letter, Dad. March 14th, 2:47 p.m. You knew she was dying, and you didn't call. You didn't write. You didn't come." Daniel's eyes went to the window, to the chair where Margaret used to sit. "I thought I had more time," he said weakly. "You had 3 years. It's complicated. You don't understand." "I understand perfectly." Ethan held up the phone. 156 Sundays. She called you 156 times, every single week. You never answered, not once. Daniel's face went white. "She was sick, Dad," Ethan continued, his voice breaking. "She was dying in this house alone, and she still called you every Sunday because she couldn't stop being your mother." He held out an envelope, the second one, the one Graham was supposed to give Daniel. "She left this for you," Ethan said. Daniel took it with trembling hands, opened it. A single page, Margaret's handwriting, shaky but clear. He began to read aloud, his voice barely a whisper. "Daniel," his mother had written, "I waited until I couldn't wait anymore. I called until I couldn't call anymore. I loved you to the last breath I took." He continued reading. "But I don't forgive you." His hands shook as he read the next lines. "I tried, for years I tried. Every Sunday I picked up that phone and I forgave you again. I told myself you were busy. I told myself you didn't mean it. I told myself that somewhere deep down you still loved me." The letter went on. "But the truth is simpler than that. You forgot me. You let Vanessa convince you that I was a burden. You chose a comfortable lie over an uncomfortable truth, and you let me die alone." Margaret had written, "I'm not forgiving you, Daniel. I'm letting you go. The house goes to Ethan. The money goes to Ethan. Everything I worked for, everything I saved, everything I hoped to leave for family, it goes to the one person who showed up. You'll have to live with that. I don't have to live with anything anymore. Goodbye, Daniel. Mom." Daniel read the letter twice. His hands were shaking. His face was wet. Vanessa got out of the car. "Daniel," she called, "what does it say? Is there money?" He didn't answer. "Daniel," she said again. He looked at her, then at the house, then at his son. "I need to see her," he said. "She's at the funeral home in town, but you're not welcome at the service." "Excuse me?" Daniel asked. She was specific. She didn't want you there. "She's my mother." "Was," Ethan corrected. "She was your mother. For 69 years, she was your mother. And for the last 3 years, you acted like she didn't exist." Vanessa stepped forward. "Now wait just a minute. We have rights. We're family." "No," Ethan said, turning to face her. "You're not. You cut her off. You convinced Dad she was crazy. You made sure I never saw her, never talked to her, never knew she was dying." "I was protecting this family," Vanessa started.
"From what?" Ethan demanded. "A 70-year-old woman in the mountains? A grandmother who just wanted to hear her son's voice?" Vanessa's face hardened. "She was always dramatic," she said. "Always needing attention. Always—" "She was dying." Ethan's voice broke. "She was dying alone, and you knew, and you didn't care." Silence. Daniel looked at the house one more time, at the window, at the empty chair. "I want to go inside," he said. "No," Ethan replied. "Ethan, this is my house now. You're not welcome." Daniel stared at his son, the boy he'd raised, the boy who now stood between him and everything he'd lost. "I made mistakes," Daniel said. "Yes, I should have called. Yes, I should have come. Yes. Can you ever forgive me?" Daniel asked. Ethan looked at the phone in his hand, at the 165 calls, at the 3 years of silence. "Ask me in 3 years," he said. He walked inside and closed the door. 6 months later, Sunday, 5:45 p.m., Ethan sat in his grandmother's chair, facing the mountains. The house was different now. He'd fixed the porch, painted the shutters, planted a garden where Margaret used to grow tomatoes. Helen came by every Thursday with casserole. They'd eat together, talk of nothing, watch the sunset. He'd started classes at UT Knoxville in the fall, environmental science, just like he'd told her. The trust covered tuition, books, everything. His phone buzzed, a text from his father. "Can we talk?" Ethan looked at it for a long moment. Then he put the phone down. It was 5:55 p.m. He picked Margaret's old phone, still cracked, still charged. He opened the contacts, found her name, Grandma Maggie. And for the first time in 6 months, he called. It rang 4 times, then voicemail. "You've reached Margaret Ellis. I can't come to the phone right now, but leave a message and I'll call you back, I promise." Ethan closed his eyes. "Hey, Grandma, it's me." He paused. "I'm sitting in your chair, watching the mountains. The sunset's beautiful tonight." He wiped his eyes. "I just wanted you to know, I made it. I'm here. I'm staying." The phone was silent. The mountains were golden. "I'll call you next Sunday, same time, 6 p.m. He hung up, put the phone on the table, and watched the sun go down.
What would you have done? If you had 3 years to call someone and you didn't, how would you live with that? Share your story in the comments. Tell me about someone you should have called, someone you still can. And remember, the phone works both ways. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is answer. She died in peace, looking at the mountains. He'll have to live with it. The end. If this hit you, call someone you've been postponing today.